You've learned how to use filters for your internet reports. Now I'm going to show you how the report itself can be used as a filter. The really cool thing about BI reporting is exactly that. You can use the report itself to act as a filter on other tables or visualizations or whatever it is that we're looking at. So for example, let's say if you're used to using a filter to find someone's information, I'm going to pick on Hope. Okay, so that's selected. You know that the top margin now is all for Hope, all of the closing percentages and whatnot. Here's that person and how many leads and the sources and how successful each source is, and it's good. But let's say you're on the fly, you want to talk about somebody else. Okay, you can go back here and change it and wait for it to catch up, and you look at that person's, statistics. Or another way is, let's go back to the eraser at the top and just go back to the report like it's meant to, just untouched. And let's say I'm looking at Hope again. So I find Hope on the drop down right here. I can click on Hope and look, the whole report changes again for that person. Now everybody else stays kind of grayed out in the background, and that's okay. But that also means you can just go back and forth and click away if you like. So we can click on Vario. Now the whole report goes to Vario. And we can click on Derek. Right? So different ways of using this report. So one is drop down filters. The other one is using one of the tables as a filter. So I'll go back here again and erase the reset button. And let's say a lot of the chatter I often hear from clients is that, oh, don't give these credit leads for this person because you're not good with it, or let's just give the credit leads to our top performers because they have a better chance of converting. That's based on a hunch. Until you see the data, how can you make those assumptions, right? And time again, the data says something completely different than what someone feels like it's happening at the dealership. So if we went and we looked at, I don't know, let's look for here on this source success rate. This is how each source is producing in terms of how many leads are coming in and the conversion of it. If I click on the word sold, you already know from a previous video that that will bring it numerically highest to lowest. So the source that's converting the most, 14 sales this month in April, is team velocity check something. I don't know what that means. It's just it cut off the word because there's a limitation of what can be displayed. All right. Then 60 leads came in, 14 sold for 23%. Great. Now who's selling all of these? Is it your top performers? I don't know. How can you find out? Okay, click on that word team velocity. Okay, so now I'm using that table to filter the rest of the report. I can see of the 60 leads from this column that sold 14, now this internet sales performance will only show the people who have taken those leads. So you can see 60 down here and 60 up here is the same number. So let's see how people have done. Vario took 8 of them, the most, and sold 1. So that's 13%. Your average is 23. Okay, so Vario is maybe taking too many of those. Okay, John, 17%, still below average. Vincent closed 3 out of 6, 50%. I will give more leads to Vincent based on this data. Marquise is 40. Mateo's taken 5, converted 0. Now I get it. You take the good with the bad, right? Sometimes the lead itself, customer's not serious, conditions have changed. Whatever is the case, it does affect the numbers at the end of the day, but that's why we look at averages, right? Michael, 20, Ricky, 20, 50% for Iliam, another person who should be taking more of these leads in my opinion based on this data. Hope, 67, holy crap. You know, we talk about this individual a lot of the time, and it's time over time just producing results. Hope's only taking 3 of these leads. I would argue that I would give the majority of Vario's leads to Hope just based on this closing percent difference. 67 compared to the 13, right? This is how you're going to use data to make these kinds of decisions at your dealership. So this is, again, how to use one table to filter the rest of the report. And anytime you get stuck, you don't know where you are, just start from scratch. The very top, the little eraser button is the reset button. You click it, everything goes back to normal. And there you have it, folks. Another way to use our reports to get actionable insights to make intelligent, data-driven decisions.